Hello, good evening everybody, happy Sunday. And you're back here with Sandra Stampin' Craft Studio, and tonight I've got you a technique. Now this is an old technique I have not done for a long while, okay, but one of my dear friends, Joy Nelson, she's one of our Global Inspiration Stamp Team members, she did something recently with it, and that just woken it up in my vocabulary and my repertoire for doing something similar tonight. So doing something totally different to what she did, but still the black and white split negative technique. So I'm going to get you down onto the table, and I'm sure there'll be some people joining me shortly. It's no use me looking at the clock up there because the battery has died. So I'm saying 4:45 at the moment. So hey, we'll see what happens. So let me just get this up and take that one off. There we go. That one. There, and there. And then we come across. Okay, so I have dug out an old set, not old, but it's from the annual catalogue. Now, I've been using a lot of the Spring Mini at the moment, quite recently. So I'm using this one. Now, this is pictured on page 57 in the catalogue. It's a beautiful, beautiful set. And bearing in mind what I'm going to do tonight, I thought this would be perfect to use with this technique. So I'm not sure that it's one that I've ever done on a live before, or on a video for that matter. So I'm going to have a play with this. I have brought out my Stamparatus out of hiding. You can do this with just a normal stamp, and you'll just, with the Stamparatus, I know a lot of my customers have got it, it just gives you a chance to put several layers on and make sure you've caught every single bit. It's quite important on this one. So this is what I'm using tonight. So Layers of Beauty, we're going to actually stamp this. We're going to do it once in black on white and once in white on black. Okay, got a bit of a twist tonight of something that I thought up would work. So fingers crossed, everybody, that it's going to be okay. As I can't see any reason why it shouldn't. So let's just get prepared, shall we? So I'm going to start off. I don't know what colour base card I want to have yet. So what I'm going to do is take a piece of white card, and I want to have a whole quarter sheet, if that makes sense. I will be cutting this down. So we're going to stamp it, heat emboss, and then we are going to trim them down. Thumbs up done. Thanks, Shaz. Hi, Linda. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Lynn, sorry, Marilyn. Nice to see you all here. I'm sure there'll be some more. I know Joy herself, I messaged her to say what I was doing, and sadly she can't join us live, but she'll catch up on repeat on playback. So I've got more sheets than I need, but like I said before, when I've got a sheet out, I actually split the whole lot. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with a piece of black. Okay, so in fact, just to save a little bit of background sheets, what I'm going to do is actually make a card base with this one. Okay, and fold that one in half. I don't know what colour base I'm going to use yet, but I'm putting that over there out of the way, and then I'll cut this one. Oh, not score, cut. Okay, so we're going to have one black and one white. Okay, that's our split negative. I'm just going to rest that on a chair for now. You know what I didn't bring over? I didn't bring the machine, did I? The cutting machine. So in this set here, we have the bits and pieces in here. We've got the stamp set, which I'm going to be taking this one out tonight. This bloomin' big one. Okay, we're not going to be watercolouring, but we are going to be using this big stamp tonight. And then we have a die set with it. Here, this is a Layers of Beauty dies that match. So we will be using the die cut tonight. It's getting a little bit curly from being through the plates as they curl. So I'm going to leave that one out on the magnet. I'm not sure, I don't think I'm going to need any of this now. So we'll put that one to bed. And then of course we have the masks. Now this is the mask, I have used these before. So these you can work through, you can sponge through, use the blending brushes, and there's 5 layers in there that you build up your images. Might be we use that one on Sunday, I'm not sure. Okay, but I'll put all those away for today because that's all we need. So I'm going to position this in my trimmer, Stampin' Up boss machine. So we're going to put this right up into the corner, and stamp on here however it will work, because it is a quarter of a piece of card, so it's going to be fine. I have got the mat underneath, I'm going to pick that up on there, and that's going to work for both panels because they're both quarter sheets. Okay. Oh, she says, I'm going to need a little bit more than I got. I've got the white and I haven't got the black. Let me just, this doesn't seem to be in the middle of the screen, does it? I'll try and work a bit higher up. So we're going to come back to that one. Let me start with the black actually, because I've got the white powder out. I'm going to pop that one in. Okay. Because I'd like to die cut this one, it's not going to make a difference as long as it's all actually positioned on there properly. Okay, so I'll pick that one up on there again. And so what I'm going to start by doing is grab my Versamark ink pad, and then I need to have my, well, this is my little white sheets I use to tip the powder into and then tip it back into the pot. We've got the white embossing for the black, and then we'll have the black embossing for the white. So let me just get those out again because I can see these sticking out the top here on my little sheets. I put that one there, get that out of the way, and then I need my black, and this the black ink, the black powder there. So both of those, you can sit on that one. So this stage we're fine, I think. Yeah, black powder on white and white powder on black. So what I'm going to do here is just take my Versamark pad, and before I ink that up, I'm just going to grab the little dust buddy here. You do need to try and eliminate, particularly on this technique, you need to, oh, we've got some more people. Hi, Rhonda. Rhonda's overseas. We've got Debbie from Green Acres, and that's WA Washington, isn't it? Gillian, and we've got Anne on here as well. Lovely to see you all. So we're going to wipe this over. Whenever you're heat embossing, it is important to have a dust buddy because it takes any static away. We all have natural oils in our hands, and if we touch this, chances are, or any moisture at all gets on here, the powder will stick wherever we don't want it to. It's guaranteed it will go, and we'll have little flecks and speckles. Okay. Should only stick to where this ink is now. Okay, now I do like to stick a stamp case underneath. The reason being, the plate comes off the top here and it slopes down away from us, and there's no need for that really. We don't really like to do that. We want to be supportive underneath there, so it's going to give you better coverage. Now I'm actually going to ink this up twice before I put the powder on. Okay, now on air, on the screen, you probably won't see where this image is. Press that really nice and strong, lift that off, and I'm going to ink it up again. Just make sure that that magnet is actually caught on the bottom there. So I'm doing a second inking now. So if anything, if I've missed any little pieces on here, hopefully the second inking will get this up. And I'm also, because it's a large stamp, I'm paying particular attention to the centre here. So when we press over this, we'll press over the whole thing. This is the ice puck, air hockey puck from the game that you see at the seaside, where you've got air pockets and you're hitting a little disc into the goals either end on air pockets. So I do love playing it, but I always lose. Very rarely beat my husband. I have managed to, but very, very rarely. I put all the effort in and he doesn't put the effort in, and it just manages to get it down the actual goal. So this one's covered now, so I'm going to take that one off. Okay, and I'm going to put the white sheet on here ready. So I'm just going to slot that on there. Move it to one side for now. We will need that again. So I'm just going to cover this in the powder. So it's the white heat embossing powder. Okay, so we're just going to tip this gently over. It's only going to stick to where that ink is, and there we go. I will just get a paintbrush or just tap off the excess in a little while. Really good coverage there. Pay particular attention to the edges if you think you've missed a little bit. Okay. So I'm just holding it over there so my fingers don't get wet, and I like to flick the excess off. Okay, turn it over and give it a check. Wipe off anything that you think shouldn't be there. And anywhere that looks like this corner looks a little bit bleak. Okay, give that another flick. Okay, I have got a little paintbrush here somewhere. Let me just try and find if it's out on the table. No. Okay. It's in my case, just a sec. So I tend to keep all my heat embossing stuff all together, all my tools together. I've got a little stubby paintbrush here. I did actually cut the bristles off to make it just for this purpose, and I keep it in the box. Okay, so that should be good. It's looking good to me anyway. So we'll put that one to one side. We're going to heat these both together. So I'm going to tip this back into the pot. The reason I use the grid sheets is because I like to label it white, because when we do the next piece, if there was any little white flecks on here and we tip them into the black container, you would get little flecks either way, either white in black or black in white. So they stay together, and then the black will stay together. So we've got the black and the black there ready to go. And my brush. So again, popping this right into the corner there. We're going to make sure that's caught on there and caught on there. Check the stamp's going to fit. Yeah, we're good. So we need to wipe this over, the area that it's going to cover. Okay, in there, just to remove any loose particles as they land. And then we're going to hit my Versamark. So get that stamp case underneath again. We're just going to cover this over again. We'll do it twice, like we did before. Once the powder is on the piece of card, as long as it doesn't get knocked, and there's no cats about, I'm the only one in the room tonight, so nobody's going to knock that powder off on the corner of my desk there. But if you thought you might knock it with something, or something might fall down, you will actually knock that powder off until it's been heated and melted. Okay, pay particular attention to that middle. Okay, make sure you lift it up gently. I'm just going to slightly try and lift up there. And then we're going to ink that again. You can see there's a little bit of black coming off there. This stamp has been used with black before, but it really doesn't matter because the powder is going to cover it. So it should be clean. It's obviously a little bit come out onto the ink when it was moistened. Okay. If you haven't got the Stamparatus and your magnets, it's unlikely you'll get two stamps to stamp it twice over the same area absolutely spot on. So it is one of those things. If you haven't got this one, Stampin' Up! No longer sell it. Then do be sure to get yourself some sort of a stamp positioner if you can. Okay, so I'm going to place this on here. And so the powder is black on black anyway, but the powder will cover that. Okay, so I'll do it half and half. That's that half. Don't be, oh, that was a little bit. To say, don't be sparing in popping the powder on there, because you're going to tip the excess back into the pot. If there's anywhere that you want a little bit extra, you think you've missed. There we go, and I think we're looking pretty good there. So black on white and white on black. Okay, just tap that into the middle and into the pot. Okay, it is very economical to use because you are only using what sticks. Okay, now I'm just going to grab a piece of kitchen roll. Because the powder is very, very super fine and it's airborne, I do like to just wipe the table down. Okay, you can see there's some little flakes on there, so it just keeps us a nice smooth surface here. And I'm going to pull through, excuse my arm, pull through the heat tool. Okay, and we're just going to melt this powder. Now, sorry for the noise. You should be able to hear me because my voice is near the camera. So I'm just holding this over the top here. Keep it away from any mats like this. Anything that's going to melt. It is extremely hot. Just going to put my glasses on so I can see when it actually melts. Okay, so we're just holding it gently. Don't waft it like this because the idea is you want it to melt. So as soon as it melts, move on. And it's going nice and shiny. You can overcook heat embossing. Okay, if you just concentrate on one area for too long. Okay, hopefully on the screen you can see that the top is darker than the rest. Move that around and hold it the other side. Something quite magical about watching this all melt and go really shiny. Okay, I'm just going to switch that off a second, save the noise, and just make sure that everything is shiny. It's all raised and it's all shiny and looking lovely. I'm going to do the same with this one. I think I've got a double shadow on this one, which won't actually be too good. In fact, can you see on here how much of this is a double line? It's moved when I've actually used the second image. So I'm going to put that to one side. I will come back to that later, but I'm going to do that over again. I'm not happy with that, and it will spoil what I'm trying to do with it. Okay, so we'll make sure this is right up into the center. Grab another piece of that black. Okay, and that's up there. The mat here. I'll heat that one and see whether I can salvage anything out of it later on. But for now, we're just going to carry on. Oh, did I have my blue gun? Let's see where I put that. I think I put it back in the drawer. Let me just grab that just a sec. Try and do a double whammy with this one. I'm just going to take a couple of pieces of my Scotch tape and actually Scotch tape it down to the mat as well as the magnets. Okay, just to give it another whammy. And it is right up into that corner. So stamp set underneath and then stamp this over with Versamark. So Versamark is clear. This is a very old one. You just keep re-inking it and it keeps on working a treat. So it's just a gluey, a sticky ink really. That's all it is. And any powder that sticks to it will stay. Okay, and it doesn't dry straight away. It's a bit more gloopy. So I think I ran that over there, didn't I? Just do it again in case I missed in talking. So I'm going to stamp that down. All right, and they're going to need to move that tape. Hello, smudge. Nope. Just need to get the tape out of the way of the stamp. Just make sure that's going to be in the way there now. There you go. It's going to scoot round there, and that should be fine. Okay, just ink that up again. Turn that over, stamp it all down. Okay, and then holding that in the corner there, I'm going to ink that up again. It's because the stamp actually stuck to the paper and lifted the paper a little bit. I have got that kit, Shaz. Yes, I've got the tray and I've got the brush that goes with it, and you brush the powder back in. You know when you've got old habits and it's hard to break old habits? I'm one of those. I've always done it this way, and I do sometimes forget that I've got that. And you, like your kitchen gadgets, if your kitchen gadgets are not out on the worktop, they don't tend to get used. They tend to, if you've got to go to a cupboard and get them out, they tend to not be used. But if they're on the worktop, because it's there, you use it. That's a bit like me with the Embossings toolkit. Okay, put that on there, and then this one here. I don't want to put my, oh, got the wrong one. Nobody shouted. I've got the black for black, and I don't want black for black, do I? I want white for black. So put the blacks away and bring that white back again. And there we go. Keep my fingers up here. Fingers crossed, everybody. Even if you're overseas, you can keep everything crossed. That's looking much better, isn't it? I'll just catch those little bits that might have missed. Maybe a little bit there. There we go. I think we're good. So we'll have one on one now. Like I say, I'm doing a little bit different tonight. So hopefully you're going to see something a little bit different. I'm hoping it's going to make it easier for you. All right. So just grab that paintbrush again. In this corner I've just got some white on here, so I'm just going to brush that off and dust the table and then melt this one. Glasses down. Down. So again, no wafting of the heat gun, just in one place until it starts to go shiny, and the white will be more prominent on this one and the black on the other. Keep moving, you don't want to overcook once it's gone shiny. Bit late, Shaz. Comments come up. I'd already realised myself I couldn't put black on black. Right, there we go. So put that out of the way. Now I should have two here, both heat embossed. So what I'm going to do now is to grab that die that I put in the magnetic dish, and I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to cut both of those out. Okay, I just need to grab the cut and emboss machine. I've got a plate missing. There we go. All the gadgets out tonight. Now I have got some brand new plates in the box over there that I need to unload, unpack. So, but for now, this one's flat, the other one's curly, so I'm going to anchor this one down. You want to take a little bit of time with this and make sure that we've got all of those pieces in the right place. Okay, because it's quite a large die. And we want to make sure it's all lined up properly. I think it's looking pretty good. So let's just anchor that down. I've got some more here on this, the microphone, the camera stand. So I'll grab another couple of pieces off there. And there we go. Have a double check to make sure we're happy. And then we're going to run this one over the top. Normally I've only ever done this when I have a solid image like this, but I've done it on a square piece of card. I've never die cut it with it before. But I think that I'm going to show you a way that might make life a little bit easier for you. Okay, so it is an experiment, but one that I'm pretty sure is going to work. Okay, so that's the negative of that one. And there's my white one. Okay, swing that back through. This one there. Make sure that that's all nicely lined up. There we go. One at the top. Slew that around a little bit. Do a recheck at the end just to make sure we're happy. Mainly because it's more bumpy. It's just because it's getting a little bit curly. I'm not quite happy with that. Get another piece. Okay, so one on there. There we go. And we're going to run that through. Onto the floor. Pop this one out. There we go. I'll leave that one for later. There we go. Demolish that later. So going back to me having a blank card here. I don't know if I want a black base or a white base, but I am going to put a, if I can, I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to. It's a fairly large stamp, but I think it looks better, kind of like that sort of angle with the leaves and smaller ones down here and the flowers up the top there. So it's a case of what we're going to do here now. We want to get the split negative. We want to have a cut somewhere. Now you can cut diagonally, you can cut top to bottom, you can cut top to bottom, sorry, and you can cut left to right. So you can have one down there. Whatever your angle is, you are going to have two pieces identical. So the idea is when we cut these apart, because I have die cut them this time, I should be able to have two pieces that will fit perfectly when I cut these through. Now I want to cut, can you see where that little fork is at the top there? I want to cut from that fork down to this little point there. So what I'm going to do on the back, I'm just going to grab my pencil, it's in the other room. So I have a pen here. I'm just going to take, if I turn these over, I'm going to cut just from that little fork in there down to this piece here. Okay, so they're my markings on the reverse, and if I go like that, I think that's going to be fairly straight. Can you see that on there? A little mark top and bottom. Okay, if you're cutting two whole pieces, say that you wanted to have an image. When I've done this before, it was way back when we had a bride and groom, which, you know what, they were on the table the other day. I've got a feeling they might have moved. Yeah, a bride and groom on a tandem. Now I wanted the whole rectangle piece, so what I did is made it bigger than what I wanted and then trimmed it down afterwards so I could cut it, match them up, and when you match it up like that, we're going to use ordinary sellotape to match them up. Okay, so we're going to grab a trimmer on here. Okay, I do want to cut them both together. Okay, so we're going to put these together, we're going to place them on here. Ideally we'd use a guillotine, but a trimmer will work as long as we do more than once. Okay, so we want to get them perfectly together. We want my little runner there. Can you see I've got some dirt in my track here? I'm going to grab a little tiny scrap of card here and just run that down. Just a little scrap. Okay, and just run that down there. I don't want that to inhibit the blade. There's a little bit of fluff there. It's all the fibres from the cardstock as you cut, and you're guillotining every day. I don't know who's trying to get in the door. I hope that's not hubby. He should know that I'm live. It might be the cats. Okay, so there's my little pink mark at the top and there's my little pink mark at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to hold those together. I'm going to cut down once first. Okay, and then I'm going to come back again. Okay, to make sure it's cut. I think it did it all on one. So now if I turn those two pieces over, like so, and like so. Okay, slide those off. I really could do with a white mat today, couldn't I? I know what we do. We're going to use this. Take off the Stampin' Up plate and use this, just because it'll be a little bit easier for you to see. Take the magnets, oops, onto the dish. Okay, so you can see on here better. So we've got our two pieces like so. So what we're going to do is take one top and the other bottom. So that's what we're going to end up with. We're going to put them together like so. We've actually got the whole image. Okay, it'd be easier if I'll do one on here on the white and then one on the black. So that's that one. So you've got a positive and a negative, and then this one's on the black card. Got a positive and a negative. That is your split negative. Okay, so that's going to go on there like so. Okay, can you see those two? Don't they look good? A little bit different. Sandra, didn't see you pop in. I've got some, there you go, and Anne. There we go. So what I've got here is a normal tape dispenser. Okay, so I do want to make sure that I actually tape these together properly. So I want to line them up where the lines overlap, like this. And then I want to make sure that I tape them together so that everything runs as it should. So I'm going to hold that over. I'm going to put a little piece in the middle. I'm not going to do one long length. I'm going to put a piece here first. No one will see your sellotape on the back. So I just want to know it's held together in the right place, and these are working together. They're all working fine. Now I can put more pieces on. Okay, so I'm going to put a piece. I have to slice this down a little bit, I think, because it's just a little bit too wide. Okay, so all we're doing is just holding together while we adhere down. Yeah, I wasn't sure at first, but yes, it is very clever, isn't it? So it's called a split negative. Okay, so I've split that so it's a little bit narrower. Okay, and then turn that way around the other way, just so nothing's showing beyond your image. And there is our split negative. Okay, so that's that one done, and then I'm going to do the same on this one. Okay, so I want to just make sure the first point, the main focal image is kind of where this one lines up. So I will put that down a little tiny bit first, make sure that they are buttered up together. Okay, just hold it together, slide it off, recheck, and I'm happy that that's going over, that's coming across. Okay, so now I'll take another piece, get rid of that, split this down the centre so it's a little bit narrower. Okay, and put one piece near the top, up here. Okay, and one piece down the bottom, just there. Okay, and that is the easiest way I can show you to do this. Now, by doing the die cutting, I think it's kind of works in our favour, because it's probably a little bit easier to do it this way. But of course, whichever side card you have that on, it's going to be a problem. Okay, so now it's a case of I was going to do a black and white layer and then a little matte layer and then put a little pop of something behind it. But I think I'm just going to stick with let's see whether I wanted a pop of something. Now I'm wondering if the pop of pink might do it on here to have behind it, but I need a bigger piece, so let me just cut a piece slightly less on there. Put those out of the way for now. So I'd worked out some sizes I was going to do my matte layers. We can always trim down, but we can't make it bigger. So that's a rule of thumb as well. So I'm going to try at 13.8, a centimetre smaller than the outside card. And then 10.5 comes down to 9.5. But we do have a caveat that it doesn't matter if it's actually overhanging, because we've got a die cut image. It really doesn't matter if it's going to overhang those edges. So if I take that down another 1/2 centimetre, I'm actually going to put a little white layer behind it. Okay, so this was 9.5. I'm going to take this down to 9. And this was 13.8, so I'm going to go 13.3. And those other measurements, I'm going to actually cut into white card. Now we had those panels I cut earlier, so I'll use one of those. So I'm going to do this as being the 9.5 this way. Turn that round because that one's a little bit fuzzy there. Cut that piece off. And then this way is going to be 13.8. Just 1/2 centimetre that's going to be split over both those pieces. Let's have a look and see what we think of it. Okay, so with the black card, I'm going to place that on here. We just want a little bit of background behind there. So that is going to be our split negative. Now, what do we think of that, ladies? I think we're all females on here tonight. Okay, I quite like that. If we put it directly onto the white will have an outline there. This was what I was thinking of doing it that way round. If we want to keep more prominent black and white, that might still be the better option. Okay, just trying to centre that. I need to cut it a little bit bigger, but do we want to go that way? What do you think? What do you think, folks? So we've got the black and the white and the white and the black. So it doesn't matter which way round we do it. But you've got on the white, you've actually got that against there. And if we did this one, you'd have the black against there. So you've got the same either way, whichever way we do it. It really doesn't matter. Okay. I'm thinking I want to go more towards this way. Do I want? I think I kind of like that on the other way round. I do really think I want to do that the other way around. So I am going to cut this one down a little bit and take a bit more of this one, and then I'll cut the other one again. So just bear with me. Like I say, I have no idea, time-wise we're all right. You'll take 1/2 centimetre off this one, so we're going down to 9. You like the pink really making it stand out? Oh look, you are now, aren't you? So you like it on the pink. Because the idea is to have the background so that it is the black and white, and then I was just going to put a little border around here just to have them like so. But you're thinking you like the white is too stark actually, isn't it? You want me to stay where I was? No, I've lost the white piece. Was that the one behind there? I think it was. Tell me which way round I had these. I'm shuffling cards. Look, there we go. Little piece of white. Let's have a quick vote on it. Catch you later. I'm away with Monday to my Monday group. Pink on top. That's 2 of you pink on top. Sandra as well. Okay, we're going to do pink on top, ladies. And of course, the beauty is you end up with the second image, so you can actually do that twice. So by doing all of that embossing, you're actually getting 2 for the price of 1. 2 fers. So I have my Tombow here. So I'm just going to attach these 2 together. Okay, like so. Around the edges. And then that one on there. Okay, and then we're going to put this one flat as well. But I'm going to raise up the black and white image. Okay, so get a nice even border around the outside here. Down a little fraction. So this one, as long as we've got the seam down the middle joined up, which we have. I'm just looking for dimensionals. There we go, had those out the other day, and my tweezers, my trusty tweezers. So we can do this now. We literally need to make sure we anchor that again a little bit down this seam. So I start off down the seam first. I like to been removing these as I go. You don't have to go back to the same place twice. Okay. Just make sure that that is really well anchored together. And then the rest of them, just wherever you need them. Okay, and being a shaped image, it could be anywhere really, wherever there's a weak spot. Put one out on the edge. And one there. I might just put one in the middle of that. That's quite a big area there. Put one in there as well. Okay, this little limb here is a little bit small, so what I'm going to do is just snip one of these out. The half ones around the edge. Let's sit that. A little bit big, so I might just have to trim a piece off there. Maybe that's not going to stick anywhere. And just pop that in, that little tiny piece in there. And take that out. So tip those in the bin. And we turn this one over. Now, because we've got it on here, I want to really have this quite vertical. I'm going to line this up on the mat here. So I kind of know that that's on a straight line coming down the middle there. And aim for the same one. So that there. And there. I think I'm on the right one. There we go. Hold my breath. Like I say, it really doesn't matter about the edges. Just hanging off there slightly. Okay, we're aiming for that line there and there at the bottom. So it's just coming over those edges, which I think looks really nice. Thank you for your input on that. I'd love to do one. I might do the other one the opposite way round. I might put it the other way and just see how it looks. Or a different colour maybe. Okay, so that's done well there, except now we need to put a greeting on there. Now the greetings in that set, the sentiments, you've got some small ones. That happy anniversary I think is too big to take away from that. What I did get out is this one, my small business. I do like this one, and there is that, do you want to thank you on there? What else I've had out recently? Let's see over here. Got a few out on the table here. That one's retired. I like those ones, but that's thanks as well in there. I think we're going to have to go with thank you tonight rather than dig around and get another stamp out. I kind of liked one of these actually. Thank you. This one's quite nice and bold. This is solid, but that's too heavy for that card. I think this one might be nice. And then if we wanted to, we could then do that all over again. I really would like to do that. Are you going to bear with me tonight? I'm going to just do... Really would like to show you how this works. So I'm going to have this one over here to pick up. Okay, with a piece of card over here. Okay, we'll anchor it down as we did before. I'm going to do a black and white and a white and black, exactly the same as before. The stamp's on the outside now. I've got one magnet there and one there. So we will have a little piece of white, a little piece of black. Some sort of strip will be good. That off. Only little scraps because we're going to chop them down. So we're going to put this one at the top. Will that catch up there? That'd be fine. In fact, we could put that a little bit higher, couldn't we? Put it in the middle of the scrap, like so. To anchor that down. So one either end. So we're going to quickly just run that through. Now we've got everything out, so it shouldn't be too bad. We're going to clear the deck, Versamark on here. Okay, it might be off the screen, but kind of bear with me. It's there, and I'm going to stamp that on there, down there. Like to do it a second time, just because we can't see where Versamark is stamping. So that's there. I didn't do my dust bunny, did I? Okay, so I'm going to take that one off and stick the white powder on the black. Okay, we'll heat them together, but there's our white powder on the black. And then put that all away. I'm going to do the black powder onto the white scrap. Put that up there. Run the dust buddy. And the Versamark on the greeting again. So this is doing the greeting exactly the same as before on there. Lid. There we go. Find somewhere to put everything. Behind the scenes, if you see anybody doing a live demonstration, behind the scenes it's a whole different ball game to what you see on the actual screen. Okay, so that's a black and white and a white and black. So that can go there, lid on there. This one's going to be much easier because we're just going to be able to chop it in half. Dust that table down. Little airborne particles, it's gritty and I don't like having the gritty bits underneath. So I do this one first, glasses. So again, we're just melting the powder. As soon as it heats up and it starts to melt, we're moving along. Lovely. It does get very hot, so please use tweezers, use a wooden peg, hold the heat gun away from your fingers. There we go. I am being naughty, not demonstrating as you should be. Okay, so if we had a die, that would make it a lot easier. So I've got stylish shapes, seem to live on my table at the moment. So again, like I did before, if you've got a die cut, it will make your life easier. So I'm just thinking this one might fit. It will, won't it? There we go. This one might be a bit too stubby, too fat. Yeah, it's just going to miss those outside edges off. It's got to be that one. So we're going to die cut those. And then it'll be much easier to cut it in half. Okay, so put that on there. Anchor it down. Try to get those gaps either side as even as possible. It is just a deception of the eye. It really won't matter. This is a good word to use because there's 6 letters, so you've got 3 and 3. Okay, if you've got a 1 in the middle, you want to chop that through the centre. I'll try not to get an eye in the middle though. An eye in the middle does not help you because you can't really cut through that, so you'd have to go either side. Oh, hi Angela. You love the monotone with the pop of colour. I was looking before I came on air as to which colour to use, and I think it worked well. The die cutting is definitely easier, okay? Having done them a long while ago, I did do quite a few back in the day. Anything to make life easier. Okay, so that's one done. Put that in there. Just because it's got stitched edges, it is just grabbing that a little bit. Okay, and again in the centre. And you know how this is going to, well, you can't anticipate how this is going to look when we switch it the opposite way round. So the side we've got white flowers, we're going to have the black greeting, and the side we've got the black greeting, we're going to have the black flowers, we're going to have the white greeting. So it's going to look quite stunning. It's a very old technique. Like I said, I hadn't done it for a long while. Probably not since I've been in this house. And we've been here 10 years this year. So it's a long while ago. It seems like it's longer than that. So it might not be. Stick that on the camera stand. Another piece on the camera stand. Okay, so we've got two nice little greetings. Now, where has she hidden the little mini cutter? It's over there, I can see it. Just a sec. There we go. So I'm not going to bother to measure it because we've got 6 letters. We've got it in the centre. I'm actually going to cut through between the A and the N. I'm going to place that on the cutting blade on here. They're very close. Just fingers crossed. There we go. We've got an N and an A and an N there. Then the same with this one. So you're getting the gap between those, tiny gap between those 2 letters. Oh, tension because I'm live. There we go. I think we're good. So now we'll have that one together and that one together. Okay, so are you with me on that? Get the guillotine out of the way. You can see exactly how that's going to work. Yeah? So because my flowers are this way round, I need this one, don't I? So I'm going to put those in my dish. And we're going to attach those 2 together. It might be easier for you to see it on here. So take a piece of sellotape again. I'm going to cut it in half because it's quite narrow here. Storybook Friends DSP currently unavailable. I'm not 100% sure. It's not one that I've had to order recently, so I couldn't tell you. I can find out when I get off here. My fingers are going to be in the way, aren't they? Okay, let's put it on one half. That helps, and then we'll place it on the other one. With glasses down will help. Okay, so we're just going to line that one up on there. So they're glued together. There we go. Thanks. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is just to strengthen it because it's a wee bit weak. I'm going to put the second piece over the top. Okay, we can do exactly the same with the other piece for another project. So we can do the other card up, but this one is going to sit like so. Can you see how beautiful that's going to look? Let me just get your camera in a bit further because we're going quite close now, aren't we? There we go. So we're going to have the opposites. Okay, so I'm going to get some more dimensionals on there. Wherever she placed them here. And again, we want to anchor that middle bit first. Always go for the weak point and then pop one either side. One there and one there. Okay, get those out of the way. My lovely tweezers. So just wherever you want to position that really. There's no right or wrong. So you can put it down here. If there's a little gap there, but it doesn't matter. So you can see more of the big full feature flowers. I think I might just do that. There we go. So we're placing it down, exactly down the same line as the other one was. I think I'm going to put it there. There we go. I quite like that. I've got dust everywhere still. You know the powder I said about? I can feel it. It's just gritty. Okay, so that's all good. Have I got any gems around? Yes, I have. I think some pink sparklies might go. Some clear sparklies might go on here. This one's actually navy. It's not black. What are those ones? Yeah, they're old ones, retired ones. But gold won't work. Just see if there's anything that's going to go better. Oh. Now, these ones were the Regal foiled adhesive back dots. These pink ones would look really nice, but I'm thinking either black or clear might be better. They're green. And now I'm going to come back to the clear ones, I think, because pink on pink might not show up as well. So we'll go with those. Got some old, really old ones. I found a really old pack the other day. So So we've got some delicate ones here. I think they might look nice, or the medium ones. So if we just pop these down here, 1, 2, and 3. There we go. I'm trying to keep half an eye on the comments as well. Shift that fraction. And there we go. Let's get them out of the way. And there, my folks, is today's card. So obviously I'll need to go back and put, I haven't actually got any black ones. If my blends were nearer, I could have coloured those. Our Stampin' blend, the Stampin' Right blends, not the right markers, the blends, they will actually colour, because they're alcohol based, they will colour anything you stick underneath it, whether it be ribbon or gems, etc. So yeah, black ones could go nicely on there as well. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. I'll put a liner in here, but I think that's kind of a good quick showing of that technique. It's a really good one to do. Please have a go, and please put your photos in the comments below so other people can see what you've done. It is a really good technique, so I urge you all to have a go. Okay, don't be a bit of caution. If it goes wrong, you can put it in the bin and start again. Okay, so that's my motto normally. Okay, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Really love that. And don't forget, just a last reminder before I disappear, I'll bring you back to me, take that off and get you across there. Before I go, just to remind you that Celebration is still on at the moment. It finishes on Friday. So where are we? 23rd today. 4 to 5 to 6 to 7, 28. Yeah, Friday is the last day for Celebration. I will be putting an order through that evening, but not right at the last minute because the system might crash. So if there's anything you're after, then please drop me a message or give me a call. Okay, and I'll look after you. Okay, so take care and look forward to seeing your greeting.